Hi, this is Dan Cordapassi of TSG Multimedia, and today I'm reviewing some HO scale high-performance Magnalock brake lines from North American Railcar Corporation. This is the beginner pack, which includes 10 pairs of brake lines, 20 pre-bent air lines, and a gluing jig. The MSRP on this kit is $38.50. It's available direct from the Pacific Western Rail Systems website, pwrs.ca. The kit includes several bags of parts. This bag contains the brake lines themselves, and I've used a couple of them already. This is a little metal piece that's useful for installing these brake lines on locomotives. These are the pre-bent brass lines, and again, I've used a couple of them. And this is the gluing jig. So one thing nice is there are some instructional videos on the PWRS website that show how to install these. I'm going to show one too, just because my method differs just slightly from theirs. The first thing I did was you have to cut the trip pins off the couplers because they'll interfere with the brake hoses. So I did that. And then you have to mount the brass brake lines that they give you. So instead of just gluing it on, I'm going to drill a hole to make it a little more solid on this car. I'm going to drill the hole just right along the side of the coupler box so that it goes into the cross piece here that supports the bolster. This is one of the brake lines that they give you. I've taken mine and cut it down to length, so I'm just going to insert this into the hole that I drilled, and then I'll glue it on. So here's my brake line glued onto the side of the coupler box, and the end is cut at an angle, and that'll be where the hose attaches at a slight angle, so it should mate up pretty well. These are the newer style of these hoses, which have a round end. I guess there was an older style that had a square end, and you had to worry about aligning it. These are self-aligning. You just make sure that it connects to this little magnet on the gluing jig. And it'll automatically align itself to the right orientation. Then they recommend using a thick or gel type CA glue on the end of this. Then you push it into alignment with the piece where you're going to glue it. So one thing they tell you to make sure of is that the magnet part of the hose should be roughly on the center line of the car or under the coupler. So now I've given the glue a few minutes to set up, and I should be able to remove the gluing jig. And the hose stays on the car. So these couple automatically when the cars get close together. There they go. And then you can just couple the couplers. And they should stay coupled while the train's rolling around. And then when you uncouple, they automatically separate. So they pretty much work just like real air hoses. So this is a pretty good product. It looks good and it works as it's supposed to. I do find the installation a little bit fussy in that you have to get the height of whatever you're mounting the hose to just right so that you have something to glue the hose to. My biggest concern about these, and as I'm saying this, keep in mind that I'm not really using these on my own layout, and I don't have any long-term information about how they hold up over time. But essentially what you have between the hose and the mount is a butt joint. And it's a really, really tiny dot of glue, very small surface area. And my concern is that eventually these are going to fall off. Now, maybe some people have used them and don't have that problem, but that would be my concern. I would like to see maybe somehow the design be improved so that there was maybe a little tube that the hose fits into that would give a little more positive grip or something like that. So I think for that reason, I'm going to take a spike off for the design. So my final verdict is 9 out of 10 spikes. If you or your company make a product that you'd like us to review, please drop us a line at reviews@tsgmultimedia.com.